let's go into this AAA discussion. I want to talk about the AAA situation, the AAA sector, okay, the industry, whatever word you think sounds best. Guys, I think we're at a place where the AAA industry has hit a wall. I think we've finally come to a place where we're kind of stagnant. And what do I mean by that? Let me give you an example. Right now, the PS4 and the PS5 are out, and that's currently what's out right now, okay? PS4 servers are still alive and strong. Nothing has happened yet, okay? It's coming, it's creeping slowly up, but right now it's still being supported and all of that. They just announced that in 2027, there's going to be a PS6. Huh? In my humble opinion, I don't think that the PlayStation 5 has even reached its peak. There's no way that these game developers have created games that have pushed the PlayStation 5 to its limits yet. It's not possible. Same thing with Xbox. It's just not possible, guys, because there's still too many games still being made for the PS4. They have not completely shut them out. The same reason I just spoke about with the GTA 5 transitioning to GTA 6. There's still too much money. There's still too many PS4s in the wild, and they cannot leave that money on the table. They can't. They rather put butter on the counter, but they can't leave that money on the table, guys. There's like 100 and some odd million PS4s still in the wild, okay? Still buying games, still playing old things. The problem with a lot of today's time in games is not for the players necessarily, but for the publishers and these companies, is because that there's so many good games out now, spread across all platforms. I mean, you got Steam, you got PS4, you got PS5, you got Xbox Series S, and you got X. Okay, there's a lot of games you could easily go back to and have your way with. You don't have to get them day one. A lot of people don't buy them day one. A lot of players are buying games on sale and so on and so forth. So they're not getting around to these games until way later. And when you have that happening, there's no rush to buy a lot of these games day one. There's no rush. So you can just sit back, relax, and play stuff. You can play a game 3-4 years old and play that game for 200 hours. People are doing that. I've done it, and I know other people are doing it. So there's an issue there. But a bigger issue is the hardware. The hardware has, like I said, we're at a place now where, guys, even looking at the PS4 compared to the PS5, there's a lot of games on the PS4 that, like, perfect example, Last of Us 2 still looks great on the PS4. I played it on the PS4, bought the collector's edition, everything, loved it. That game ran buttery smooth. It was at 30 frames, but it still ran buttery smooth. And I didn't have nothing wrong with the game. Okay. Didn't crash, nothing. Naughty Dog created a masterpiece as far as not just the story, in my opinion, in the game, but the production. They fucking knew that hardware front and back, right through and through. And you put it on PS5, and I also played it on PS5, played it all the way through and loved it. It was 60 frames. Okay, even better. But what I'm saying is, how much better can you make a game look now in 2025 and beyond? In other words, how much better graphically do you think the PlayStation 6 can make their games look compared to the PS5? Like, honestly, how much do you think of a graphical upgrade are you going to get? And I'm here to tell you guys, it's not going to be by a lot. I think some people won't even notice that. And then to make matters worse, we're going to be in this same bubble where they're going to be making games for the PlayStation 6, but they're also going to be making them for the PlayStation 5. So people say, oh, well, they're stunning the growth because they're not exploring all of that hardware or what that hardware has to offer. So because they have to make the same game for the previous system. And some of that is true, but some of it is not. Okay. And I'm sure a lot of us can remember, but some of us probably haven't or can't. If you think back to when the PlayStation 5, right before it came out, right before it launched, right? If you can go back and remember some of the videos, some of the trailers that Sony was putting out. Okay, now Xbox is guilty of this as well. They've told us a lot of things in these trailers and that games that were coming that didn't come out when they said they were coming out, right? They said, oh yeah, available 2020. The game didn't come out in 2020. The game came out in 2021 or 2022. And then the things that they said, oh yeah, 60 frames, away with 30 frames. Guys, most of the games on PS5, a lot of them are still running at 30 fucking frames. Okay, that was a lie. They did all that to sell the system. And they're going to do the same thing with the PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox console. They're going to tell you that, yes, it's going to do this and it's going to do that and it's capable of that and ray tracing and this and this. All they have to offer is ray tracing, or everything's running 60 frames. And everything's not going to be running 60 frames, guys. There's going to be games that are going to not make that happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to tell you what they want you to hear and what you want to hear so that you buy their system. Okay. And then it's going to take years. Think about this generation. This is basically the beginning of what we're going to be seeing moving forward. A slower transition. It's not, guys, we're not talking about, PS3 to PS4 now. That was a leap. Okay. But now these leaps are small. They're very tiny. The leap from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, they're not that big of a leap, guys. They're not. And from the PlayStation 5 to the 6 is going to be even smaller, less noticeable. And that's why it blew my mind when I said, 2027, guys, we are just now getting into the PlayStation 5's life cycle. We're just now getting into this. And you guys are talking about dropping another system? What the fuck are you doing? And that's how a lot of gamers feel. And nothing's going to change. When that PS6 comes out, guys, you're not going to see a significant difference in graphics. You're not. Number one, because they're going to be making the same game for both systems, PS5 and PS6, and you're not going to see a significant change. You're not. Oh, you may have some better ray tracing, but that's something you barely notice. Oh, look at the shadow in the water. It glistens in the light. If you look at it at this angle, at this obtuse angle, you can see the hair follicles glistening off of that water puddle. Bro, that's not what I'm paying for. Like, you don't even notice that while you're running through the stage. Okay. You're immersed enough. So spare me with the mumbo jumbo. And that's what we all fall for. I fell for it. Okay. For the PS5. I did, because the PS4 was so fucking good. And they got us. I mean, I admit it to you guys. They got me because the PS4 was so great. Okay. They were throwing fucking exclusives everywhere and killing it. And then as soon as the PS5 dropped, they fucking took their foot off the gas. And now they know that Xbox is not even trying to compete anymore. So they're probably going to take their foot off the gas even more. Okay. So that's why these exclusives are now so sporadic. We're not getting them like we used to. We're not. And why would they put them out if there's no need to do it? They've already won. Okay. They consider themselves creme de la creme, best of the best. So they'll wait while we make these games. So we're just going to put them out a little bit less than we usually do. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing right now, as far as Sony's concerned. Xbox just said, fuck it. We're available everywhere, guys. Take all our shit. So I don't understand it. I don't. And they're going to charge at least $1,000 for their system. Probably more like $1,200 after tax. See, people never bring up the tax. Oh, it's Nintendo Switch is $399 or whatever the fuck they say it is. They never equate the tax. Guys, you need to put in that tax. That's still money you have to pay. Okay. What if you're just $100 short? What if you're $50 short? You're not getting it. You're not getting it because you don't have the tax. So that's another week of scrounging up money. That's another whatever you think you need to put up and save. Let's not discount that. Let's not ignore the entire price. I like to include tax because that's exactly what you're paying. People say $69.99. No, bro, you're paying $75. That's what you're actually paying for this game. Okay. Don't just deny that. So I don't know, man. I'm a stickler for shit like that. But anyway, this is where we are right now in the AAA space. And you got to admit that I can't be telling lies right now. I can't. The layoffs are ridiculous at an all-time high. And the reason why that is because it costs so much money to produce games now. These AAA games, they have more money than movie studios now. Hundreds of people, sometimes thousands for projects that take 4, 5, 6, 7 years to make. That's the thing. The games take too long to make. They cost too much to make, right? And as a result, when they're done with the devs, they spit them out and they're done with them. Or the company goes belly up because they spent too much money, even if the game was good. But for whatever reason, it didn't sell like they thought it would. Or you have shit like Microsoft just says, fuck it. we're just not going to use you anymore. For whatever reason. Okay. Anytime you're under someone's thumb, you're not promised anything. You're just not. So you got to keep your head on a swivel at all times. And this gaming industry right now, we're at a place where it's just too much everything. And we're starting to see it crumble a little bit. I can see chinks in the armor, guys. There's no way to do it. And now these systems that are coming out that they want to mass produce, somebody's got to pay for it. They're not cheap to make. We all know that. And then you got the tariff situation. So you combine all these things. And as far as the AAA market and gaming is concerned, guys, it's not pretty at all. Not even a little bit. So something has to give here. Something has to give here. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what else to say about it. We got to find something. We got to find a certain way to do something, because right now these leaps and bounds they're gone. Those days are over, where we get these huge leaps and these huge bounds in the gaming. I mean, how much better can you make a game look? I haven't seen technology that is there yet that could sustain something like that. It would cost too much and would take too long. I'm sure it can be done, but you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting a long time. And then these file sizes, ridiculous. Pretty soon you'll be able to hold 1 or 2 games per console, and then you got to delete before you can play a new game. Oh, I got 3 games on here I can't hold anymore. Let me delete this 190 gig game real quick so I can download another 172 gigabyte game. That's where we're at right now. And don't talk about streaming, because streaming is not there, not even close. We're not there yet. Still got a ways to go on that front. I'm not really excited for streaming games, because I don't want anyone telling me I can't play something, right? If my internet is down or something's going on with their servers and I can't play, guys, I don't want to be a victim of that. And that's the one thing I always keep in the back of my head with games like Arc Raiders, okay, games like Helldivers, even where Winds Meet, when it comes out. If something's going on, your hands are tied. At 9 p.m., we're going to be shutting down the servers for maintenance. We've all seen that, right? Down for an hour, down for 2 hours. Maybe it's down for a significant time. You got people on, on Twitch or on Reddit, creating forums talking about, hey guys, it's still not back up yet. And I don't know when it's coming back up. I took off work for this. I did this, I did that. Then you have these issues. So just be wary. Just think, at least keep it on your mind, at least is what I'll say. It's definitely been on my mind. It's been on my mind because I cover games and I play them and I talk about them a lot. And it's a really, really big passion of mine. So, I see it every fucking day. So it is what it is, I guess. You got to take the good with the bad. I always try to take the good and I try to look at the glass half full instead of half empty, especially when it comes to gaming.